Hey everybody, AC here, and welcome back to another episode of Gaming Month. This time, I am talking about my 14th favorite video game of all time, Pac-Man World 2. Now, Pac-Man World 1 got a remake. I can't remember if it was early. I think it was last year. Last year, I'm pretty sure. Pac-Man World 1 repack. And Pac-Man World 1 was a perfectly fine game. I thought it was a perfectly fine game. I didn't think it was anything special, but I thought it was a perfectly fine and fun game. And then there was also Pac-Man World 3 and Pac-Man World Rally. It was a 4-game series. Pac-Man World 3, fun gameplay, did not like the fact that everybody talked. It felt wrong. It felt specifically Pac-Man. Pac-Man talked, and I specifically remember not liking his voice. I don't even remember what his voice sounded like, but I remember not liking it. Pac-Man should always be a silent protagonist. He should never talk. And they made him talk in the third game. He was back to being a silent protagonist in World Rally, and I remember loving that game. That was a really fun racing game. But Pac-Man World 2 was by far my favorite game in that series. I liked all 4 games. I thought all 4 were pretty good games. But the second game, Pac-Man World 2, was just the most fun out of all of the Pac-Man games. Out of all the Pac-Man World games, that was the most fun one. And I would absolutely love to see a remake of Pac-Man World 2. I would love to see a remake of Pac-Man World 2. Even if they don't remake World 3 or World Rally, even if they never remake those two, I would love to see a remake of Pac-Man World 2. And I'm not the only one. There's a lot of people who grew up with the Pac-Man World games that would love to see a remake of World 2, because everyone who has played all 4 games basically agrees that Pac-Man World 2 is the best of that whole series. It's the best one of the 4. By far. There was 2 other games. What was it? Pac-Man Worldly Adventure? Worldly Adventure, I think, or something like that. That basically tried to... those games kept referencing the World games, hinting that those 2 games are supposed to be like a continuation of the World games, but they were garbage. They were absolute garbage. So yeah. World Adventure 1 and 2, I think, or something like that. But yeah, they were pretty garbage games. But World 2 was absolutely fantastic. The King of Ghosts, the King of all Ghosts, Spooky, has been released thanks to Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. Thanks to their bumbling, he was released, and he ends up kidnapping Pac-Man's whole family and most of Pac-Town to boot, and so Pac-Man has to go and defeat each of the ghosts, defeat each of the ghosts, free his family, and fight Spooky and defeat him. And the only way to beat him is by gathering these special golden fruit. There's 5 special golden fruit, and so he has to collect all 5 and face Spooky, and the golden fruit is what can seal him away again. And so there's 6 worlds. There's six worlds, and I believe there's like 5 levels per world. So it's a good 30. It's a good 30 levels. It's a good 30 levels, and they are all super fun. They do get kind of difficult as the game. They do get pretty difficult later on. A lot of the levels do get pretty difficult. Unfortunately, three of the 6 bosses are all the exact same boss. It's the exact same thing. The first boss has a very unique and interesting gimmick. The other 3 all have the exact same fighting gimmick. And unfortunately, the second boss is the only one that's actually fun to fight. The third one has incredibly tight platforms with ice physics. Now, the ice physics isn't really the issue. It's the fact that you have tight platforms and you're supposed to not slide off when ice physics are involved off of these tiny platforms. So that's the issue with the third boss. The fourth one is just the fact that lava keeps spurting up to keep you from getting to each of the platforms that you need to get to. And the aim of the fourth boss is a lot more accurate. And so it's just very annoying. It's very annoying. The fifth boss is it's kind of janky. The fifth boss is kind of janky. You're fighting all the ghosts at once. You're fighting all the ghosts at once, and they got like this huge mech that they're you're fighting that they're fighting in, and the fight can be kind of janky, but it's not nearly as annoying to deal with as the third or fourth bosses. And then Spooky is a very difficult boss. He actually really is a tough final boss. So yeah, some of the bosses are just annoying to deal with, where others are kind of okay. And then the levels can get pretty unforgiving, especially in the 4th, 5th, and 6th worlds. They can be pretty unforgiving. The first 3 worlds are all pretty easy. Minus the boss of the third world. But my absolute favorite level in the whole game, comes from the third world, and the entire level is just a skating level. It's all just one. You're skating downhill. You are skating downhill. And you're just weaving around pits and dodging obstacles, jumping over pits, and it's just so much fun. And the better you do, the faster you start to go. And then you have to get even better and better and better. It's so much fun. It is just the most fun level in the entire game for me. Like, no joke, I will sometimes pop the game into my PS2 just to play that level again. And only that level. I won't go back to any other level. I'll just go back to that one level and just replay it again. Just because I love that level so much. It is, honest to God, just one of the funnest levels I've ever played in a platformer. It is one of the funnest levels I've ever played in a platformer. Absolutely love it. But yeah, the game is wonderful. I really, really hope that it ends up getting a remake, or at the very least some kind of an HD port to current consoles, or becomes available in the shop, the PlayStation Store. Just give us a way to play it give us a new way to play it that isn't PS2. You know, give us a new way to play it. That's what I'm hoping for. So, but yeah, so that's it. That's all I got. So, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, all that good jazz. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everyone.